Alright, let's go ahead and start up the next one. Behind the Helm. Tepeke wishes to share the contents of a recent delivery with you. It seems Virazahn has been laying low since our last encounter. I'm sad to say, however, that my investigations have uncovered little. Well, that's because I wasn't doing anything, and didn't we already establish that you're not very good at this? Well, not really, but still there's cause to celebrate, for I've received a letter from my mother with good tidings. My father has finally awakened after the grievous wound dealt to him by Virazahn. He's well enough to travel to Tuliyollal, in fact, and may have already arrived. Of course, I'd love nothing more than to go to him, but I pledged not to return until I had the Purge of the Apex in hand. Besides, I'm soon to depart with the Radiant Host to try and sniff out Virazahn's whereabouts before he acts out of desperation. That's why I ask you to go in my stead. I gotta go back? As the treasure's guardian, no one living is more knowledgeable about its history than he. That seems like a pretty long trek. If you share with him all that transpired since we began our search, he may be able to point out something that we've missed. I know it's a lot to ask, Brillian, but the safety of Thavnair depends on it. And please, give my family my regards. My mother should be able to tell you where in Tuliyollal my father is staying. Once you're finished, let us meet in the Aetherite Plaza in Radz-at-Han to share what we've learned. Well, I guess it is kind of reasonable to learn a bit more about the item. It's just like a bit of a detour to go all the way back to Tuliyollal. My father may know something about the treasure that we've yet to uncover ourselves. Please go to Justi-Virazahn and ask my mother where to find him. Alright, let's go ahead and head on back to Tuliyollal. Again, that's a pretty far trek for a bit of a detour. Alright, let's head back over to the Justi-Virazahn. See if we can find... See if her mother can let us know where Papa is. No, wait, Papa is, no, this is Daddy? No, that's Fortunald. Hello, Suhi. Oh, if it isn't Brilliant, but I don't see Tepeke with you. Did you come alone? Yep. I'm glad to hear my letter arrived safely, and that Tepeke seems to be as tenacious as ever in her search. Her father, Netzi, has already arrived here in Tuliyollal, but has barely stayed in one place since. He seems desperate to help Tepeke from a distance in whatever way he can. Well, he better meet up with me if he wants to help. He told me he was traveling the Parionon plain in search of information. He assured me was quite in search of information, he assured me was quite vital. Okay, there we go. Gotta read the whole sentence. If you wish to speak with him, he'll doubtless be in the area. Well, I guess let's go head out wherever he is. I think that means he's out in... what plains? Oh, Dawntrail. Okay, let's just go ahead and teleport to... Oh, no, that's, yeah, let's teleport up to Mehawetson or whatever it's called. Yeah, Shaloni. Yeah. And head on south. Yeah, I don't know. I know some of these locales because of the video I did for the sightseeing points. Because that was actually pretty interesting because I got to learn a bit more about some of the history of Tuliyollal. Anyway, oh, looks like he's having some fun over here. Hello there. I'm just gonna keep pressing all the buttons that light up because I don't remember what any of these do. Also, just while I'm here, I'm gonna go ahead and okay, I need to do 3 of these. There we go. I get some more nut sacks. Only 4, but that's a little. I mean, I think I already bought all the stuff I needed from the hunt vendor for collectibles. I don't really need to be getting more nut sacks, but like at some point I'll end up needing more of them. Plus, you can get some decent gear. Anyway, let's go ahead and let's get back to what we were working on. Looks like you were having some fun. Thank you, traveler. I overexerted myself, you think? I've but recently recovered from a severe injury. It was a fool to confront such beasts alone. Right, such beasts. So you're the Brilliant I've heard so much about. I owe you many thanks for all you've done to recover the perch of the Apex. News of your progress in Thavnair is most heartening. Despite my position as its guardian, I never knew it could rain down stones from the heavens. Since arriving in Tuliyollal, I've done what I can to shed light upon the Tuliyollal sealed within the treasure. After the nations of Troll were unified, some left our village to build new homes in the city. I've sought them out to see if they know anything of use. Unfortunately, none could offer insight into the treasure's magics, but one of them told me the owls lurked around this place. And since the Tuliyollal sealed within the perch of the Apex was once an owl, it seemed logical to pursue such a quarry. I thought perhaps I could glean something about the ancient beast from their behavior. Like as not, some fundamental aspects remain the same even after transformation. But having heard your account, there's one fundamental difference that stands out. As far as I'm aware, no owl native to these lands possesses the ability to hurl rocks, large or otherwise. Well, have you considered that it might actually be a swallow? No wait, they carry coconuts. No doubt the Tuliyollal gained this power following its metamorphosis. I do believe, however, that it would retain an owl's core instincts. The one you fought didn't strike unprovoked. Instead, it watched me from afar with fear in its eyes. While this is normal behavior for most animals, I was surprised by how suddenly it descended upon me the moment I started approaching. Well, maybe you shouldn't have approached it. It sensed danger and attacked preemptively. Maybe owls prefer to fight rather than run. No, I think it's probably the first one. I had the same thought. The owl sensed a threat and chose to confront it rather than run from it. And this same impulse may have driven the Tuliyollal. Indeed, that correlates with something I heard from one of my countrymen who had relocated to Tuliyollal. He spoke of a continuation to the tales passed down from the elders. No hunter's arrow could fell the Apex. It was struck down in a storm of its own wrath, made wild by a heart of fright. Thus was it sealed away at last. Now, judging from the owl's behavior, I can theorize that the treasure is activated when its bearer senses danger, and according to the story, his power can easily get out of hand if its bearer is panicked. Of course, this theory must be tested first. Justi-Virazahn will certainly use the perch of the Apex again. When he does, I ask you and Tepeke pay special attention to the circumstances leading to its activation. Oh right, and the first time he activated it in the story, it wasn't doing anything and then he started getting slightly panicked, right? Something like that. You have my thanks. Loath though I am to admit it, I've yet to recover from my long convalescence, and I would only be a burden to you. I wish I could aid my daughter another way, but you more than make up for my absence, well that's for sure. Please lend her every bit of knowledge you have, Brilliant. I pray that my daughter will soon return home, treasure in hand. And don't worry, everything will go fine. Pray return to Tepeke, and give her my regards. I only hope an old man's wild theory can help you in your quest. I don't know how that's going to really help us, but... I mean, I'm sure it won't, be useless, but... Anyway, let's head back to Radz-at-Han. Meet her up by the main 8th right, I think that's what she said. Oh, right, there she is over here. Hello, Tepeke. Your father is an interesting character. Brilliant! You came just in time. Virazahn has shown his face in Radz-at-Han. You can tell me about your journey to Tuliyollal later. For now, come with me. Huh? Shouldn't he be hiding? Or is he doing a big grand speech? Also, hello, madam. Over by the treasure dungeon entrance. Ahaha! Are you surprised? Thanks to the sage counsel of a fellow hero, I have decided to doff my mask. Although my face may be unfamiliar, I believe you know who I am. I was once the Justiciar, but now you may call me Virazahn. I am Thavnar's protector, its savior, its hero. You may have heard salacious? I think it's salacious. Rumors that I have orchestrated the very attacks which I so valiantly drive back. That I was behind the catastrophe at the Uznir canals. I am here to assure you that those are false aspiration. See, man, these vocab words, man. Yeah, it means lies, fabrications. Cast by those who are envious of their betters. Sure. I give my life to this fair city and its people, and I would give more still if I could. Sure. What should we do? It might be best to lock him up before this gets out of hand. Thing is, he hasn't actually done anything yet. Wait, we don't want him raining down rocks with all these bystanders around. For now, keep a careful eye on him. All I ask is your respect, your adoration, a dream held by all, but realized only by the few. And I would be one of those few. I've proven myself worthy of being your savior, and now, with an entire city watching with bated breath, bro, there's like 10 people here, I shall declare my intent to reach even higher, to go further beyond. Please don't go to Super Saiyan 3. Yes, for I can protect all the bitter as your ruler? I don't think Vitra's gonna like this very much. I shall retire the mantle of hero and take up the crown as the king of Radz-at-Han. This guy, man. I don't think anyone... The bastard's gone mad! I wield power unassailable. Yeah, so do I, but you don't see me saying call me. You don't see me going around telling people to call me their queen. Well, maybe I do in my head, but... With me on your throne, you would never again have cause to fear. I mean, dude, like, it's like... We've literally got, like, Vitra. I don't think we need any more power. All would live in peace. All would shower me with love, bro. They would shout it to the heavens, and from that love would spring a new Radz-at-Han. A greater Radz-at-Han. Jeez, dude. Enough of your lies, Virazahn. The power you wield protects none but yourself. To everyone else, it brings only ruin. Of course, the road to greatness is ever paved with the necessary sacrifices. Yet so long as your ruler lives, Radz-at-Han shall know naught but prosperity. It already does know prosperity, dude. Like, everybody's like, is this guy serious? You think you're better than Master Vitra? He bore the city and its people on his back, while you look fit to collapse under the weight of your own armor. You're no leader. You're a damn joke. Does this man speak for you all? Yes. Is there not one among you who would follow me into this brighter future? Ah, but I am nothing if not magnanimous. Until you find the wisdom to accept me as ruler, I shall continue to stand vigilant as your eternal shield. The shadow. That's not intentional. I don't think that's intentional. It'd be pretty cool if it was. Stop this, Virazahn. You're only making it worse for yourself. Can't you see you're becoming a laughingstock? Give up this facade and answer for your sins. Do so now, and the Radiant Host may yet grant you mercy. My sins? Are you not the one poisoning the people against me? Do your worst. I dare you. Are you sure about that? You really want me to do my worst? It will only make me more powerful. Right. I know not what's in your heart, but please, end this madness. End it, and return to me, my son. Nope, he's going Super Saiyan 3. Don't get any closer! You two, why are you... What? His face. Well, now he's attacking civilians. I guess the Radiant Host can get in here. Don't. If we fight here, there's no telling how many innocents will be wounded. They're going to be wounded no matter what. Pathetic. As ever. I tire of this farce. I have declared my intent to become king of Radz-at-Han. As for you two, this is no place for a battle between heroes. Well, yeah, this isn't a place for a battle between heroes because you're not a hero. We shall meet again, mark my words, and then we shall decide who is mightier. Bro, I'm the main protagonist. Oh, come on. I could totally just slap him and I'd win. We can't risk a confrontation in the city. Are you sure about that? We must focus on restoring order. Right. Bro, we could, like, just give him a quick slap and he'd go down crying on his knees. You're right, of course. As much as I hate to see Virazahn walk free, we've yet to ascertain the extent of his power. For now, we must bide our time. Bro, I could, like, just quickly run in there before the rocks fall. Plus, I'm range DPS. I noticed that despite all his proclaimed love for his people, he didn't even look back at them as he retreated. Perhaps he couldn't bear to look them in the eyes. Or one of them, at least. Alright, I think that should probably wrap up this one, and then we got one more afterwards. Hello, father. I'll talk to Tepeke first. I just had a thought. We should speak with Virazahn's father, Brilliant. Well, I mean, that's what the quest objective says to do. That was a disaster! Virazahn is truly lost. At the very least, he's committed himself to fomenting unrest within Radz-at-Han. And although he's my son, I cannot condone his actions. His words are grand but empty, and that ridiculous armor is nothing more than gaudy decoration. He is truly the embodiment of false heroism. What's more, the latest debacle has surely made him a criminal in the eyes of the Radiant Host. All I can do now is beg them to grant my son some small degree of clemency. Before you go, may I ask you something? After Virazahn called down the rocks, did you see his expression? I thought it peculiar, but I'm curious as what his father saw in that face. Aye, it was a familiar look. When I used to scold him for losing himself in make-believe, he would get the same cast in his eyes. A look of petulant rage, as if he resented me for pulling him out of his reverie and into harsh reality. He hasn't changed. Apologies, but I must go. Just as I thought. Even clad in his shining armor, he can't bear to be told no, and now his childish games have taken a malevolent turn. But for now, we shall return to Yedlamod. I still have yet to hear what you learned in Tuliyollal, after all. It's not really that important if you just let me, use my ranged attacks to get him. Anyway, let's head back to Yedlamod and wrap this one up. Alright, where is she? There she is. Hello, Tepeke. I know we just talked, but you for some reason decided to head all the way back over here. Now that we have some room to breathe, I'd like to hear about your journey to Tuliyollal. Did my father have anything to share? Well, something about panic. Not really that important, to be honest. I'm heartened to know he's well enough to go chasing after owls and such, though I wish he'd take more care. Thank you for saving him and for bringing me his theory concerning the treasure. If it really is triggered by a sense of impending danger, that might explain why Virazahn had trouble using it the first time. He wasn't truly afraid of that small fungi until it was almost upon him. Yeah, that's what I said earlier. And I remembered that he seemed overconfident at first, and then he started getting more nervous as the cutscene went on. It also explains how he can wield the Apex's power despite having no training in magics. It responds to emotion, not intent. So much is falling into place. He goaded the Radiant into apprehending him because he knew that the threat would be answered. You saw how nonchalantly he quit the plaza, almost as if defying someone to stop him. Virazahn truly believes himself to be untouchable. I think his words and deeds align with the theory well enough. As for that curious fragment of a story, it seemed to imply that the Troll of Adral lost control in a panic. Perhaps its strength grows in proportion to the danger it senses, and when that danger is too great, well... You saw what happened at the Ooze-Nair Canals and Radz-at-Han. You were present both times, as were others who wished Virazahn ill, and both times we saw stones much larger than we've seen before. Now I understand why he's so eager to face you. An opponent of your caliber will strike fear into Virazahn's very core, and that fear will summon a power greater than he's ever known. Power enough to bring a hero to her knees. You sure about that? Or so he thinks. I like the way you think. But we know better. We'll use that arrogance to our advantage and bring him crashing down to the earth. Well, if you'd let me just literally summon Bahamut and a couple more primals, we could just have this all taken care of. Although we may have to contend with falling rocks for a time, in a straight fight, he'll be outmatched. So we strike fast and we strike hard. This is literally what I've been saying this whole time. Until that fancy armor is nothing more than mangled steel. Although you may prefer to put your foes to sleep and whatnot, we know he has an arsenal of alchemical concoctions at his disposal. That's why I suggest a bit of good old-fashioned brute force. Again, I like the way you think. Well, you unleash your most fearsome destructive spells. I'll be your shield. Don't even think of holding back. Don't worry, I won't. I'll just press every button that lights up on my hotbar. I look forward to fighting by your side. Now we simply have to find a suitable arena. I shall consult the Radiant Host as to the location. Once that's decided, we'll confront Virazahn for the final time. Alright, and we get some, casting food. Not that I'm, ever gonna use that.